Boom. Legacy traders, it's Tim Key with Option Legacy. Today is time for Transparency Tuesday. Don't ask me why I said it like that. Just feel like I'm talking on the radio today. But hey, let's go look at it. Ooh, $145 to the downside. Not good, Timmy. But that's month to date. It is Transparency Tuesday, and that's why I wanted to be transparent with you guys. Is yesterday I had about $190. Yeah, I think it was about $190 loss, which is a pretty big swing for my portfolio, which is odd too, because considering the circumstance with Las Vegas, the market continued to climb. However, today I did recoup some of that loss and brought my $190 down to like 145 or so. And you can see whoop, 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 lots of green. However, the red is overpowering. Although they are few and small, they definitely overpowered this. So let's go look at my portfolio. I will tell you guys, it's not looking so good for the moment. However, let's take a moment to just pause. I talk a lot about mindset. You have to have the right mindset when trading. And what do I mean by mindset? I really mean kind of like mental toughness. And before you get into trades, you have a plan. As you get into a trade, you have a plan. As the trade's going on, you have a plan. And as you exit the trade, guess what, guys? You have a plan. I call it if this, then that statements. You need to have your if this, then that statements. So if this happens with this stock, I will then do that. If this, then that. Or if this happens with this trade that I'm in, I will then do that. If this, then that. So my if this then that is a checklist that I'll be teaching in my 10-day option trading course starting October 9th. And if you are interested in learning about that, message me privately. Also, I'll be launching that course again in the weeks to come, probably in the middle of November, to teach you everything that I know about trading stocks and what I do. So when it comes down to trading, it's kind of like this. Let me give you an example. We flew from Las Vegas. Yes, our plane left an hour before the mass shooting out of Las Vegas, and we landed in Sacramento, home base for us. However, whenever we landed in Sacramento, the winds were 30 plus miles an hour. And honestly, guys, I thought I was going to die. The plane entirety was rattling and shaking and swinging violently in what seemed every direction. I literally prayed, Jesus, I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready to die. Now, volatility or whatever you want to call it, disturbance in the air doesn't bother me at all if we're in the air. However, we were so close to the ground that it was like, man, this is what a plane crash is like. So it doesn't bother me if we're in the air and there's a lot of room between the plane and the ground, because my idea is the plane can adjust itself appropriately before it hits the ground. However, if the plane is closer down to the ground and it starts having wild, crazy movements like I experienced last Sunday evening flying from Vegas to Sacramento, then I get really scared because I say this is what it can look like to crash and burn. And the reason why I say that is it's the exact same thing with options. Days left, the closer you are to zero is like the plane closer to the ground. And if you start having violent volatility or disturbances, i.e. losses, closer to the ground, these ones with 17 days are closer to the ground and they're still in a loss position, that's whenever you go, whoa, this is what it can look like to crash and burn. However, if you have losses and they're higher up in the sky, further away from the ground, have more time, more days in them, then you go, it's okay that you're at a loss right now because I can expect this to come back in my favor before we go to zero or get close to the ground. So the only ones that bother me right now are Amgen and Goldman Sachs. So let's go look at those. Well, let's go look at Goldman Sachs. Boom. So how do I adjust this? This was an iron condor, and whenever I got into it, it was trading somewhere around $31, I believe, right in this range, and I squeezed it. I went short on the put side at 227, and I went short on the call side at 235, and it has climbed. You can see my little box here. It needed to stay inside this box, and what has it done? It's been naughty. The reason why I said it needed to stay in that box, because look, there's so much resistance right here. like over here to the left, boom, 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 hits this, boom, kind of right here. There's so much resistance right here, but it's broken through my call side. So what am I going to do? Let me show you. I'm going to roll this put side up or closer to the money, and in doing so, I will take in a larger credit. I'm going to roll this side in. I'm not going to adjust this side, because if I do adjust this side, I would have to adjust it for a debit, or meaning it would cost me to adjust this. So this side is already being tested and it's already losing money. So why would I spend more money just to lose it? So I'm not going to touch my tested side. I'm going to allow that to stay the same because I don't want to spend money on a losing object. So what I'm going to do is this side on the put side that's not losing money, I'm going to roll that up closer to the money and take in a larger credit. I'll probably roll it down maybe to here, 146, and then I'll go short on the 140, this 235.50 and take in a 146 credit, and I'll go long on this 227.50 and have to pay that much. So the difference I'll take in is 86 or 146 minus 86 cents. And so I'll take an additional credit as I roll this forward, and the further and further that we get closer to the ground, and if we still have turbulence, violence, the trade going against me, I'll continue to adjust the non-tested side. The reason why I adjust the non-tested side is because it gives me more credit. I don't have to pay on that side. It's paying me to adjust that in. And what that'll do is I'll take in 146 minus 86, whatever that math is, and we'll go look, where's Goldman Sachs? It's here. And that will go towards this 319 loss. And closer that we get to the ground as the airplane has turbulence, we will continue to adjust this and roll up the untested side, in this case the put side, and take in additional credit to help recoup some of this loss here of 319. And since our spread is a $5 spread, you can see from there, but we'll show it here. Since these are a $5 spread, the max loss is $500 per contract, and we have 2 contracts of each. So the max loss here is 1,000 minus my credit that I received, which is 424. And if I add additional credit to it, it shrinks that 1,000 minus 424. And then whatever credit I receive, it shrinks that max loss by that much, and it helps me to recoup some of this loss over here. Because again, whenever a trade's going against me, it's my goal to first, it's kind of like you get into a car accident, or not you, someone gets into a car accident. You have to, and then you go to the ER, the ambulance comes and you go to the ER, and the doctor's there. Their goal is not to rush you into surgery. Their goal is to first stop the bleeding, stop the cause that's killing you, and then do surgery. In this case, whenever a trade's going against you and we're close to the ground or there's less days, we're going to try to recoup some of this lost capital here, in this case $319, and we'll do that by rolling in the untested side, taking in additional credit, which shrinks our max loss, increases our credit that we receive, which will decrease this number here. And then the goal is that we continue to adjust all the way up until landing, if you want to say, and continue to take in credits with each adjustment to help recoup this $319 and for this option to make us money. Now the way that it would make us money is that it would come back under the tested side, which would be 235, and it would expire worthless. But again, whenever a trade's going against you, your goal is to recoup lost capital, stop the bleeding, and then, if possible, turn that trade into a profit, i.e. do the surgery to repair you. So yeah, guys, this is Transparency Tuesday. Just wanted to give you a little insight of my performance. Today does look good. However, just to keep it transparent, for the month, I'm kind of off to a bad start. So we'll see how next week goes, and can't wait until then. Bless you guys.